Hello friends, welcome to VFX Pipeline channel. In this video we will learn how we can create progress bars in Python. And when we are talking about progress bar, we will learn two ways. One is adding progress bar for your command line tool and also adding a real-time dynamic updating progress bar using threads in Python using PySide and PyQt library. So for PyQt, I already created a tutorial long time back in 2015, and this time I'm going to create a progress bar in PySide. So lot of interesting things that you are going to learn in this video. Before proceed, please subscribe to VFX Pipeline channel because here I'm going to add more informative and useful videos for you so you can create tools in your VFX pipeline. Okay, and also you can join my Telegram group, which is VFX Pipeline Club, and here we are growing now. You can see there is 86 members and 3 are online. You can also join this Telegram group. Here you can message me and interact with me directly. Okay, so if you keen to learn how progress bar and Python and PyQt works, you can check out my tutorial, which is I already made in 2015, but this time this is gonna be more interesting because few days back I was playing around with progress bar stuff and I came across this library TQDM. This is really interesting. I mean, I just now, like a few weeks back, I found this library for one of the project. They are using this in the machine learning stuff, but I found like this is really interesting, and that's why I decided to actually create a tutorial for you guys. You can just install TQDM using pip install TQDM, and rest of the stuff I will show you practically. Okay, so just let me go to my IDE. As usual, I'm using my PyCharm IDE. I created a virtual environment. Okay, so once you created a virtual environment, then all you have to do is pip install TQDM. Okay, in my case it's already installed, so you can see that it's already saying that my library is already installed. Let me install one more library, which is PySide2. So this is also installed in my system, so that's why it's saying. So if you are following this video, just install these two libraries because we are going to play and have fun with these two library. So let's start with TQDM and let's create some basic progress bars. Okay, so let me create a empty file, which is a Python file, and name it like TQDM bar. Okay, so this is my file name, any file name that you can use. Let's import from TQDM, import TQDM. Okay, and also now what you have to do is, what TQDM is doing is it's iterate through all the list or whatever iterator you provide here, and then it will generate a progress bar along with all the information which is required for a progress bar. So let's say we have a list here. My list is L equals to, this is my list name, and the list is if I have A, okay, and I have B, let's create 4, so that means I have C as well as I have D. Okay, so this is my list, okay. I'm making it very simple so all of you understand. I can start using like range functions and all. I'll go step by step to that level just to understand like what this TQDM is doing. So I have 4 elements in my list. Okay, I have 4 items in my list. Now let's see if I want to iterate through that, what we have to do is we need to start a loop for that. Okay, so for each in my list, and then what I'm going to do is, let's say if I'm going to print each. Okay, so this is you can print or you can do whatever you want to do if whatever function you have. So right now it's just printing here, but there is no progress here. Okay, now let's see the magic of TQDM. What I'm going to do is, my list I will convert into TQDM. So let's say T equals to TQDM, and here in this provide your list, which is my list. Okay, and now instead of iterating inside your list, now iterate inside T. Okay, now let's just see, start, run. So once you run, you can see there is a progress bar showing here, but it's happened in like a millisecond because this is just 4 item and we are just printing. So there is no expensive work going on here. Okay, let's create some sleep here. So I'm going to import time, and whenever we want to create a artificial delay, so for that we are just using time. So let's just use time dot sleep, and let's just sleep for 1 second. Okay, so that means I'll go and do something for my first item, and then I will sleep for 1 second, and then I will do for my second item. And here you can see now it's actually having a, like you can see here, it's like first is going with 0% and 50% and 100%. So progress bar is moving, correct? But one thing you can see that it's actually showing a multiple progress bar, which is weird, right? What you have to do is just and no need to print anything here. Let's just comment that and run this again. So once you're running, now you can see there is only one progress bar which is going on. So what is a big deal? Like what we are getting with this? It's still kind of a confusing, right? Let me clear your confusion. Right now we are actually getting a list of 4 items, and let's say if you are processing this item, then going to the second item, it's showing, okay, now after first item your 25% task is completed. Let me put a sleep for a longer period of time, then you will see. So 0% done is, that means it's processing A right now. Then it will move to the 25% because item we have is 4. Okay, then it will go to the 50%. So I think you get the idea, correct? Now let's just move and create some more, because this is just 4 items, right? Let's just instead of my list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a range of for example 100 numbers. Then what will happen? Let's see. Let me reduce the sleep time and hit run. So here you can see now my progress bar is going one by one. Now you can see that percentage is going in like 5%, 6%. Let me reduce this to, you can also reduce and create like 0.2 second. Where's my point? Okay, 0.2. Okay, let's see. So the progress bar will smooth much faster, and you can see it's moving. It's also saying what is the rate of processing, and also how much time is elapsed and how much time is remaining. This algorithm is very interesting because it is very useful for your end user to see how much time is left, and somehow it's predict, and it's giving us very clear, remaining time, which is very important. Now let's just see some more practical examples for this. Like I see there are a lot of use for this in production pipeline. When you are developing a VFX pipeline, that time is there are many things, let's say publish, checkout, copy files, doing all this stuff is required is some sort of visual elements for the end user to see that, okay, your software, your application is doing something, correct? So now we created a progress bar which is just showing in command line, and if you are running this code from your command line, it will work as it is. So that means in terminal you can easily see this stuff, and that's why all the command line tools which is coming here, especially in the machine learning side, this is already shipped with that. Okay, so this is the interesting fact here. But now let's just move to the challenge number 2. We are not going to use this as it is in the command line, because in VFX pipeline maybe you need this progress bar inside Maya, or maybe you need inside Houdini or Nuke, right? So if you need that interface or plugins or tools that you are creating in your favorite front-end library, which is PySide, correct? So for PySide and Qt, if you want to create this, let's just create a very small interface, because I already created many videos on Qt. If you are not familiar, go to my channel VFX Pipeline, go to videos, and here go to search and type Qt and hit enter. So once you hit enter inside my pipeline, VFX Pipeline channel, you can see step by step I created many videos just how you can create applications using Qt and Python and PySide and PyQt and lot of stuff. Okay, still if you have any confusion or any question you want to ask, you can communicate with me in VFX Pipeline Club. I will answer you. Okay, so TQDM is interesting. Now let's just integrate TQDM results inside PyQt application. Okay, so for that what we are going to do is we are going to start Qt designer, and you might wondering where this Qt designer is coming, right? From where we are getting this. So this Qt designer, whenever you install PySide, okay, so let's say we install PySide, it's in our virtual environment. Go to libs, side packages, and here in side packages, see TQDM install and PySide we install. There's nothing else, right? All other libraries are actually their dependencies, so that's why they came. We did not install manually. PySide2, and you can see here designer.exe. All you have to do is just double click. Once you double click, it will open this interface, which is very, very useful. It's create awesome interfaces in just few clicks. So let's just create a main window and create. So this is the main window here. Now we are going to do is we are going to add a frame here. Okay, so frame, then we create a layout for this frame. Now let's just add a progress bar. We have this progress bar here. All right, now what else do you need? I think that's enough. We need a progress bar, and rest of the things we will display in our status bar. Okay, so suppose this is your UI, and maybe it will be like there are some, just to add few more fun, let's just add a button here, which is like a start button. Okay, nothing else, right? One progress bar, one start button, that's it. Let me just save this file. So before I save this file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder called GUI, which I always create a GUI folder, and I want to create this folder so it can be this folder can be viewed by my script. So I need to put a underscore init underscore .py file here. All right, so then what I'm going to do is in this path I'm going to save this UI file. Okay, so save as, and let me save this file, and I will save this as my main.py. So my main UI file is saved here. Perfect. Okay, now let's just go to the second level, which I want to convert this UI into a py file. I teach this. I already give you an idea how this works. There are many videos. In each and every video I use the same technique, but don't worry, I'm going to repeat this here until you learn this completely. Okay, I don't want to like leave you somewhere like, okay, that thing you can learn from my other video. No, everything you can learn here. So we have main.py. Now we want to convert this UI file into a py file. Okay, how you can do that? Interesting. Go to terminal. Okay, so once you go inside terminal, all you have to do is, there is if a UI you want to convert into py, when you install PySide, then you can go to your virtual environment and inside scripts. Okay, there you can see PySide2 -UIC. That is what we want. Okay, so venv/script. Okay, let me check the spelling here. venv, S is capital, okay, this is TQDM progress. venv progress script. Okay, and then inside PySide, and make sure the name should be correct. So let me just go and copy that for you. So scripts and whatever is that. So this is what we need is PySide2 UIC. RCC is for compiling the resource file, which is the icon file, but UIC is for compiling the UI file. Okay, so let me paste this. So this is what we get here. Now what we have to do is we need to provide the UI file. So UI file is exist in our GUI, and GUI not init file. This is our main main.ui, and after that minus o, and then you can say GUI main.py. okay, hit enter. So what will happen is after this there should be a py file should be generated. See, this is a py file that we need. Interesting, right? Okay, now let's just go and create another file. This is, we can just leave this TQDM p bar here, and let's just create a new file here, which is our PySide file. So PySide qt progress. Okay, some weird name, but anyway, you are understanding, that's fine. So first thing is, what we want to use is, now we want to create our progress bar inside Qt. So this is for command line, but now we are in Qt. So whenever you want to use your Qt or PySide framework, first thing what you have to do is from PySide2 import Qt widgets. Okay, this is interesting. Another thing which I'm going to import is, I'm not going to show you until I will use that. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you to import a lot of things in first and then you are out of the range. Okay, so now what I have to do is, I need to call my UI from GUI import main.py. So you don't need to write py, it's just main. Okay, now let's just create a class, because we have a class. Okay, Qt progress app, whatever name you can put. And in this class, what you have to do is, you need to get qt widgets.q main application main window. And why I pick main window, because you remember when we create this application, we selected a main window. Let me create a new one. Main window. You selected a main window, that's why we selected that. If you are creating a widget, which is in the most of the cases for Maya and Nuke, we are creating widgets, not main window. Okay, but this is a standalone application and we are creating for test, that's why I'm using main window. I hope you're understanding that, right? Okay, so now the second thing is, from main, main dot, and then there we have a UI main window, and that's what we want to get in our class, because all the progress bar buttons that we creating, that is actually contained inside this UI file. You want to see that? You can control and click and you can see the progress bar and the push button you added here. We did not put any name for this, but it's fine because we just want to use for a test, but I recommend use a standard proper name for that. So once we created a class, it's required a constructor. Okay, so it's a init function that you have to put, and that should be required as a first, it should be super, and wow, it's autocomplete, right? First time I'm seeing this. Good. Okay, so now the second thing is, what we have to do is, we need to set up this UI. So self.setup UI, and that is enough for okay, I'm missing the self, I guess. Yes, so these 4 lines is enough for running your empty UI, nothing fancy here, but you cannot run until you ask your application or Python to actually run that. Okay, so how you can run that? You have to do is put a main. Now we need this main. Okay, if underscore name is main, so that means when we are trying to execute this file itself, like qt progressbar.py, then execute something. And what we are going to create is, we're creating an app, which is our qwidgets.q application. And this applications required some arguments, so I'm just putting a empty list, because other than that you can just put imports sys and sys.argv, but for now let's just keep it simple. Okay, then we create a application like p.progressbar, and this is my qt, so the class name, that is qt progressbar app. It's a class, so make sure it's closed by these brackets. And then what we are going to do is p.show, and once it's show, that what we are going to do is app, this is our app which we created, dot exec underscore, and that's it. Right, run this qt progress. Once you run, you see there is a UI and it's showing a blank UI. Okay, now let me do some bit of changes, because when we are scaling this, there is no changes happening. Okay, why? Because we did not make the layout properly. So here we have just 2 items, so but still let me put some empty spacers, so that's why we'll get a proper alignment of this button. I want this button to be in center, so let me select these 3 and use this layout horizontal, so this will be like this, and then select this, and oh, we can do one more interesting thing. Let me put a text edit here, so we can show some of the weird text also here. I mean, let's just create bit of complex here. So this is a text edit, and this text edit will show some sort of whatever progress of TQDM coming, it will be appear here. Okay, so I think that make more interesting. Let's just so this is our UI. Now we have a start, progress bar, and a area where we will display the text. Interesting, right? Okay, so now we make the changes, but to see the changes, let me start there. So I run, but I did not see the changes because we added the Q text edit, but that is not here, right? What you have to do is go to terminal, and you remember what we did? We did PySide UIC blah 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 thing. That same thing we need to do again. Okay, so once we did that, and after that run, and here we can see we are actually having a scalable. I mean, this is responsive, or whatever you can say. It's your layout is perfect. Okay, so we can put icons here, we can change the name and all this thing, but let's come to our main topic. This is a progress bar, and we want to add a progress here, like same way which we are seeing in TQDM run. So here we are seeing that, right? Let me stop that. Okay, so for TQDM now we want is, so what we have to do is same from TQDM import TQDM. TQDM. All right, so now we have this, now let's see if I want to update my UI. What we have to do is, first of all, we need a thread. And guys, here the scary part comes, but trust me, if you just follow, I'm a bit slow in this video. I'm explaining each and every word step by step in a very easy way. I'm not going too fast. So I'm going to start thread now, the concept of thread, how in a simple way you can create a thread, and I'll also show you what is the advantage of thread. So let me create first without thread TQDM. So diff update progress. So this is my function, and in this function all I need is, I have a list which is a TQDM is a TQDM of range 100. Okay, I have this, and what I have to do is for each in T, which is my TQDM, and what I have to do is I need to update my progress bar. So self dot progress bar dot set value. So guys, in set value, whatever number you will give, that will update in progress bar. Very easy. Okay, now what I have to do is I need to pass this E into this set value. That's it. Let me put this E here and start my progress bar. So you can see by default it's 24%. So if I run this, oh sorry, actually it's not loaded, so let me run from here, run. So now, okay, we did not call this, so our mistake. Let me call this somewhere here in the beginning. So self dot update progress. Okay, so now let's just start that. So once I start, it just showing done 100%. We did not see the progress. So you might say that it's fast, right? So that's why. Let's put a sleep, a fake sleep, and all single imports I prefer to put in top. Import time, and all the imports start with from, I put in secondary. So that's the logic, and all the libraries which is coming from my local, which is GUI, I put in the last, so I can just simply see what. So that's the way I arrange. I don't know how you arrange, so better you can follow that. Okay, So I put a time, and let me put a time dot sleep after this progress bar update. So time dot sleep for 1 second, and now you can see the interesting stuff. So I just run that, and our UI is missing. Our UI is not called because the progress is happening. Once it will done, then only our UI will populate, and that's the problem here. So again, let's say if you are 0.1, okay, so it's like that much, so it should be fast. So I can show you this is growing, number is growing, correct? Once it's reached to 100%, then you will see your UI after the progress is up to 100 or whatever number. So this is the problem here. The progress is happening, but end user is seeing after all things is done. And if you deliver or if you publish this app to floor, everyone will reject this because they might see your application is not working, but in the end it's actually working. So that being, now this is the time to introduce threading in your application. I hope you're understanding what is the requirement of thread. Again, let me explain you. Okay, so thread is useful when you want to see the progress in this UI without closing that. So all the percentage which is we are seeing growing number here, it should be visible here itself, not after everything is done. Okay, enough theory. Let's start practical. Let me create a class here. Before I create a class, I need one more thing, which is core, Qt core. All right, let me create a class here, which is my class equals to thread class. Okay, you can name it whatever. Just for understanding, I'm giving this class as a thread class, and it's taking Qt core dot q thread. That's the interesting point here. And in thread class, we need a constructor here. So it will be start with a underscore init, and again it will be a super. All right. So, but here one thing we are missing here. We need to give a parent, and this parent should be none. So basically this should be none. All right. Okay. So why we created div is just a minute. I will cover that because here we are going to run because this is the thread class, right? If you want to, we are creating thread because we want to run something, and that's where we have a function here, run. Okay, so we need to create a function here, run, and in this run we are going to add our all the calculations which is going on here. So here in update progress, we will remove all this stuff. Control, let me just control X for now, and let me paste it here. So this is my range. So my TQDM and all the calculation work I will do inside run, right? And the progress bar I'm going to update in my same update progress. And here I will take the value, so which is my progress. So this is my progress value that I will take, and I will set as a value here. Okay, clear, right? So now this progress need a argument here. Here you can see that this is showing me, Python is saying, bro, parameter progress is unfilled, you need to fill that. Okay, so where we are going to get that? Because this parameter or this argument we are passing from this thread. Okay, again I'm using a lot of thread word, which is kind of a threat. No, it's easy. Okay, so this is going to be generate something, and that I want to transfer to my this class, and E is the one which I want to send because E is the number of this thing, right? So this is the kind of a progress, fake progress. And okay, let's just do one thing. So guys, this is still TQDM. We are not exactly in the TQDM right now. We will cover that in TQDM also, but this is a general, thread idea. If you are calculating something here and you are passing some value from here to this class, your main class, then what is the process? Once we're done with that, then we actually come to the TQDM part where we will extract this information. I know this video is gonna be a bit longer, but I will be slow and create things in a slow way until you understand each and everything. And don't skip this, okay? And don't forget to subscribe VFX Pipeline channel. All right, so this is TQDM. Here is now E we need to pass here. Okay, so what we have to do is, if you want to pass something, then in Qt we have a method, we have a a way, like a signals and slots base. So all you have to do is you need to create a signal, and let's create a progress signal. From one class, thread class, to another class, we create a signal, and that signal exists in qtcore.q signal. Q signal. Okay, and for now we'll pass object in this. Okay, sorry, it's not Q signal, I guess it's just signal. Yeah, I think it's signal. Okay, so we'll create a signal here, and this progress is something we are going to emit a value for this signal. So this progress, and this progress, once we are getting that, it's not just progress, so it will be a self dot progress dot emit, and we are going to emit a value E, and this is the value which we are getting from our for loop. That's it. Okay, so now we are emitting a value progress from our thread class, and this thread class is now we are able to run our class here. So let's just do and create a thread, initialize our thread class. So self dot thread equals to thread class, and in this thread class, once you have this, what we have to do is, second thing is, we need to connect our this function with this signal. So what we have to do is self dot thread, and thread is the initialized one that we created, dot progress dot connect. Okay, so guys, what we did just now is we initialize the thread class, and after that, in that thread class we get this name, and this progress is the name from here. So you can say Foo, Baba, Blessing, whatever name, that will be the same name. Okay, this is the signal name that is you want to show here, and you are connecting your progress signal with this function, which is update progress function. And this update progress functions required a a parameter, or it's a argument. So if a argument provided, that means now Qt knows we are getting something from progress, we need to pass in this function as a parameter. That's it. That's the magic happen. Now what will gonna be happen is, I'm going to run this class, which is very important. And don't confuse, to run we have to type start instead of run, because run will automatically happen here. Okay, so that is the fun thing. And before we start running that, let me create one more thing, which is diff stop. And stop is sometimes very important when you are in a while loop, because you need to terminate the thread once your task is complete. So this is what is very important. Let's just run our UI and let's see if we are getting this percentage. So whatever progress happen in this, we will see in our main progress bar. Let's just start. So here you can see now our progress bar is updating along with this too. So you can see our both progress bar is updating at the same time. All right. Here there's a weird thing that you can see, it's 99% and here it's 100%. And the reason is because we are iterating through a range, and we are getting this value of E, and E start with 0. So that means it's 99%. It's like a minor thing that you can easily fix by +1, or you can handle by multiple things. But now interesting thing is, why do we care about having a E number from somewhere else? Because we are going to get the exact value from TQDM. Okay, now come to the final step of our video, where we want to populate the exact information from this TQDM information, and we'll plug inside our progress bar. How are we gonna read this information? That's the important question here, right? Also, I think I missed in my this video, there are some parameters also you can provide here, which is, I found it's not kind of a useful, but it's still I mean, you can provide description, which is, description is, you know, VFX pipeline demo. So this is the parameter that you can provide in TQDM, and your progress bar will start with this text. Okay, I mean, it's fancy enough, but not in the use. Here we are going to do some interesting stuff here. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, let's explore if we need some information. So this E we are not going to provide. What we are going to do is, we are going to you know, send exactly what we are getting inside this T. Okay, or maybe in this E. So here, let's see if for example my T is this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just sending my T directly to progress bar, and here I'm not plugging this, and I'm here, I want to print something for you so you understand what kind of information we are getting here. Okay, so I'm going to print progress here. Let me run this. So guys, now you can see this progress is actually right now printing in our terminal right now, and this is live. It's also updating live, and as well as it's actually printing here also. Okay, so that means now what we have to do is, we need to do some string concatenations to actually populate this information. But not exactly you need that, because there are some information which is available in native dictionary format. And how you can get that, what you can do is, in this progress, what you have to do is dot format underscore dict. So this format dict will give you a dictionary data of all the information available here. Not all the information, but some information. It's not like all values are not exposed by them TQDM, and but still interesting. So you can see there are, you know, information like which frame is going on, like which number they are currently working, what is the total number, what is the time elapsed, and that information. So if you have control over that, so what we can do is, if you have this information, that means now you can create your progress bar by you can actually, you know, you can what you have to do is, you can just calculate the percentage, and you're good to go. And if you want to understand how to create a percentage here, let me give you a very basic example here. So let's say this is my dict. So my dict, and which we are getting from our progress. So this is basically not my dict, this is a progress dict. I know it's a big video, but you have to understand everything. Sorry, I cannot do anything here. You have to understand each and everything. So now we want to create a percentage here, and that percentage is, how you can create is, the formula is very simple. First thing is, what we need to do is, we need to get this number, which is what is the current number here. Okay, so how you can extract a item from a dictionary, that's pretty basic, and you should know that. So we have a product dictionary, and let me create a variable again, percentage, and percentage equals to my progress dict, and from progress dict I'm going to take, sorry, it's double quote here, let me take this. So n, we will get this number here. We are going to divide this number by the total we have here. Okay, So we will divide this number by total. So this is the total number we have. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to multiply by 100, and then this percentage we will plug inside our progress. Simple. Let's run that and see if it works. Here you can see it's working both side. Interesting, right? And we'll see if reach 100 in the end. No, it's not. Let's try something else. What we have to do is we need to add a one item here, because you know it's a dictionary item. It's always start with one, and we'll play with one more example. So I will clear you that why we actually use that one. So now it's both progress bars are following the same thing, and it should reach 100 now. Perfect. So both are 100 and we are good to go. All right, now let's just see. This is 100, right? So it's pretty straightforward. How about if we are using some weird numbers like 39? Let's use 39, and if you are iterating through that, and then what will be the percentage calculation? Let's just see this, and here also it works. And let's once in the end 100% done. 39 out of 39. Good. So it's not just a even number, even on the odd number or any kind of number, it will work as usual. Perfect. Now let's come to the another part, which is we want to display the information, which is first of all we want to display something like what is the current frame which we are working on right now, and what is the total number of frame somewhere in our progress bar. Because see, here we are just getting the progress information, but we are skipping all this thing, which is very interesting, right? So all you have to do is, let me create a very simple funda for you, and then we'll create the complex one. So for simply what you can do is, since this is the main window, it's contain a status bar, and in this status bar you can put show message and str and progress. Let me run this to see the magic. See, can you see this? All this information is actually now visible in your progress bar. Interesting, right? One question that might come in your mind, and guys, if we can have this directly in our status bar, why do we need this progress bar at all then? Okay, so the answer for that is this is something which is still I don't see a very end user friendly. It's still good for programmers and technical guys to understand this. I want to make it more readable by end user. So for example, what we are going to do is we are going to change or edit this entire message in a user readable format. So let's create that message for us. So for that, first thing is what I'm going to do is I need a message. So this will be my message here, and since I'm using Python 3, so f string will be my best friend. Okay, my message is the string progress. That is, I'm going to take here Control X and message. And guys, now I'm going to use a string concatenation only, so don't be confused and learn the basics here. So first thing is string conversion is very important, because what we are getting is TQDM data, and that's why I change progress to a string progress here now. And now I created a string progress, so I can play around and split things and get the values which I want. So this is what I'm processing right now. So my message should start with processing and then space item, then the number of items. So that number of item I will get from progress, and dot split. So I'm going to split this by here what you are seeing is let me just see if I can split by this. Okay, so this is the common which I can see here. So let's just split by our bracket. So if I split by bracket, then I need the item which is in the first. Let me just take it outside. Okay, anyway it's outside. Okay, so because I need a frames information, let me just take it out, so that will be much more clear for you to understand. Okay, so this is my start frame. And guys, by the way, we just need frames, right? A frame we can already get from this. Interesting, right? Okay, just now I get this idea. So Control C and Control V, because we have a progress dict, right? So we can get this. Currently processing item this, total item. Okay, and I think it's outside total. And you can just simply say total, and this should be inside your, and this is format string, f string, which is very interesting, right? So now our message will be processing item this, total number of this, and at the rate of. This is also interesting. Let me run this. At least I need to see what is the progress, what is the dict information we have, and then we'll exactly get the information that we want from there. So let me print. All right, so let me run this again. So let's stop that, because we even in one we can get that rate. Okay, interesting, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to take the rate from here, which is let's just take the rate. Okay, one thing that you might understand here is which is rate is the number is too big here. What we're going to do is we are going to limit that number. But anyway, let's just for now we are going to use as it is. But rate is something that we want to say here. So again, progress and underscore dict rate. Okay, so this is what our message is right now. Let me just run this and we'll see how it looks right now. So guys, here you can see these things are updating. Is also saying total number is 39, and it's updating which number is updating currently. So all this stuff is perfectly fine, correct? Again, this is this required +1 here, then it will give you the exactly current item, because items start from 0. Okay, so this is what we are seeing here. But important thing which we missed in here is we want the estimated time and the remaining time, which is kind of a very interesting feature here. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is let me create what. Okay, so this is our UI. What we are doing, estimated time and remaining time, elapsed time basically. Okay, so elapsed time and elapsed time, and we need a estimated as remaining time, which is remaining time. Okay, so here the things are missing, but anyway, no problem, we will add this, because we need to calculate this from our this value, because right now what I'm going to say is estimated time and elapsed times is not available in this format dict. So that's, I already try find that, but it's somehow not available. So what I did is I just simply split this message and get this number. So I split this by this. So let me get the number. So basically time start, not this, it's like elapsed equals to progress progress dot split, and we are going to split this with our bracket because we are seeing this bracket here itself. And once we split that, and then we are getting exactly the time actually. So time well. So after we split, then we need the last item. To get the last item, all we have to do is -1. Okay, so this is the time value. But now again, what we have to do is so let me print that so you understand what is this. We print time well. Okay, let's see and what we are getting here. Stop. So now we are getting this number here. What we have to do is now we need to again split by this one is we need to do again a split by a comma. Okay, we need to understand the pattern from where we can extract the information. So by and split by comma, and now we need the first item, so that is by 0. Run. Okay, so now what we are getting is just the number, and at the end from time value now we can elapsed equals to time value dot split, and now this one we gonna split with this arrow which is visible here. You can see here, let me zoom it. So now once we split that, so this is first one is total how much time is elapsed, and this is how much time is remaining. So that means 0 will be the elapsed time and remaining will be your -1. This should be your -1, right? -1, correct. Okay, so let me on this and we'll see. Let me add this elapsed here. So this is elapsed and this is what we have remaining. What is that? Okay, we missed that. Remaining. Okay, remaining. Okay, so we got the message ready, and now we have the progress ready. Okay, and you remember we created this Q text edit. Let's just take the advantage of that and start printing our dict data there. So self dot text edit dot append, and what we am going to do is str, because that's required a string, and if you pass a dictionary that might give error. So progress dict we will provide an append inside text edit. We're good to go. Run this without any time. Okay, now you can see it's running and updating data in real time in your app, and as well as telling you the remaining time and elapsed time. It's showing 3 seconds. Let's just do and make this part a little bit heavy. So 1, and now let me start this. So once I start this, and now you can see estimated time, remaining time. Interesting, right? So many things that we learn in this video. The first one is how you can create progress bar in command line, which you are seeing here in my terminal right now. How you can connect this progress bar with Qt or PySide progress bar. Also how you can update the information from progress bar from your TQDM to PySide in real time, so you no need to wait or refresh for UI. Also extract the information from your from your TQDM data, and you can place there. It's not something that exactly you have to do, but I think we missed this start button, but I don't think so that this is a big challenge for you to actually have this. But let me create. So this is my div start thread. So this is once you click on that, so we have a self dot push button dot clicked dot connect self dot start start thread. Okay, and guys, you see, on whenever I'm click after connect, I'm just removing this brackets, because if you keep this brackets on, it will automatically start. It will not wait for you to actually take your action, so it's better to remove that. All right, so once you click on this, then only your thread will start, and then only you can see the progress. So right now you see it's so by default it's showing 24, and in our UI we created 24 by default, but always it can be start what self dot progress bar dot set value and start with 0. So always you will see a value of 0, nothing is visible there. And once you hit start, and then you can see your application is now starting. So guys, you try this, and there is one exercise that I want you to do this and show me and comment me and show me in my Telegram group and chat with me, is create a stop button. So once you start, it will start, and now what your task is, on click on this button again, it should stop. All right, and it should show a stop text here. So that is the switch that you have to create. If you face any difficulty to create this, you can comment below in this video. I will help you in this, but I want you to actually try by your own, and that's the way you can create some interesting UI for your end user in VFX Pipeline. And this will be I guess this will be a useful video for you, and you learn something from this video. Again guys, in the end of this video, if you haven't subscribed VFX Pipeline channel, please subscribe. I'm going to add more interesting and informative videos for you guys. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.